Well, it's just too late. The price of Terra Luna already crashed and is cooked. But guess what? Our friends at CoinMarketCap are breaking this news just today, saying that a crypto VC firm, venture capitalists, the people with a lot of money that usually provide this kind of resource and investment opportunity to projects that are growing, in this case, Terra Luna. Well, the name of that venture capitalist firm is Panther Capital. They left the boat before this massive crash, saving their investment at about 80%, right? And do you guys want to know how much money they made? Well, I'll tell you everything you need to know by the end of this video, because they, of course, made some good profit. But what happened here is that they're leaving for sure a sour taste in the mouth of retail traders. On the other hand, everybody, what are we seeing is that other companies that I've been closely looking at since everything started with Terra Luna are not selling and are holding and are communicating what's happening on a day-to-day basis. And I give a shout out, of course, to the Binance CEO, CC, for that. So welcome back, everybody. How you doing? My name is Oscar Ramos, and by the end of this video, let's go ahead and discuss this one, because it's kind of juicy, of course, to know all the size of the spectrum, and know how the current boat is going for Terra Luna, because as of now, I can tell you that it does seem burning is, of course, out of the question, of the table. And what's going to happen is going to be a fork and new Terra Classic and the Terra Luna. And it is what it is, guys. Classic stuff. So what happened is the following. How much money they made is also pretty interesting. Pantera got a cool 100x on its 1.7 million in the Luna bet. So these people came with millions of dollars and they got out with much more millions of dollars, right? So they're not really poor at this time, even though they sold, probably some losses, but at the end of the day, they did get a lot of money. On the other hand, you have to know this, everybody. Binance had bought 3 million of Terra Luna, which grew all the way to a peak of 1.6 billion. But Binance never sold its tokens. Its Luna holders are currently worth less than $3,000 according to the New York Times. That to me, guys, is like, wow, like you're putting a great example. Of course, couldn't they just sell and just make some money? Come on, it's Binance. And it took me a while, but I found this for everybody. Are you ready? Because I saw this on May 16 and I'm like, makes total sense. Come on, I mean, sell, baby. I mean, you're for profit. Come on, do something about it. Why didn't you take the 1.6 billion profit and now Binance Coin would be down just 50%? And the Binance CEO says, picking top is job for traders, our users. We are platform builders. So it's somebody else's job. They're going to be focusing on Binance building that ecosystem and more. Not a bad response. I wouldn't have imagined something like that. So pretty good stuff, ZZ. I think you're looking in the future. Maybe 1.6 billion is not much for them. And I'm sure that, some smart people are looking at that and saying, I think my money can be safe on Binance with that leadership. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments down below for sure. So now you will know what some VC, which they are hungry for money, they left the boat. But what exactly happened? This is the story. Pantera Capital, a hedge fund that invested in, Terra Luna's CEO, dogecoin efforts, made a profit of about 100 times its initial investment. After selling roughly 80% of its holding of Luna over the last year, said Paul, an investor at the firm. So Pantera turned 1.7 million into around 170 million. I mean, not bad at all. I would love to get that for sure. Anyone 100x, because I remember seeing Terra Luna less than $1, and all the way to more than $100. That is 100x easy, right? The recent crash was unfortunate. He said a lot of retail investors have lost everything, or money. I'm sure that a lot of institutional investors as well have too. But that is what they're saying, and which is just PC, of course. I mean, classic. But take a look at this. Mr. Kwon did not respond to any of the messages. Most of his other investors declined to comment. So at this time, I'm not seeing any of the AMAs from him, anything from dogecoin. It's all about just communication through Twitter and the Terra Luna Twitter account. That's it. Of course, because everybody, kind of is like very mad of what happened. But now this one, everybody, I highlighted with blue because I really liked it. Look at this. Caitlin, a founder of the crypto platform Tesos, said the rise and fall of Luna and Terra USD were driven by the responsible behavior of the institutions backing dogecoin. So we can in a way agree or just have some type of evidence that what happened here could have been an irresponsible move, even though they took a lot of money and profits. But that, of course, panicked the market even more because you're just taking your money out, and that liquidity is going to be affected and translated in the price of Terra Luna and UST, period. That's what it is, and that's what she's saying right here. Now, Terra was risky, right? The UST, even by the standards of experimental crypto technology, unlike the popular Tether or, USDC, it was not backed by cash, treasuries, or other traditional assets. Instead, it was derived by its supposed stability from the algorithmic that linked its value to Luna. So Mr. Kwon used the two related coins as the basis for more elaborate borrowing and lending projects. So you can tell how this project was in a way great when it was during a bull run, but during a bear market, it just collapsed. And what VC investors did is like, you know what, we made a lot of money. As soon as we start seeing the boat sink, we're out. Whereas retail investors were like, we have to hold, we have to keep buying the deal, we have to be believing in the project. Well, the people who believed in the project in the first place left. Pretty much. The people who believed in the project at the first place left. And they left all the retail investors just to perish. And some of them, of course, don't have that close connection to dogecoin and, the circle. And of course, they just don't know what's going to happen after. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about that. Of course, I'm happy that they made money. That's what this is, capitalism. This is for profit. They made money, great. But at what cost? We can all go back and forth, but I'm just giving you my opinion here. I hope you understand. There's some other people, other billionaires that had a tattoo about Terra Luna. This Mike billionaire here, and he says that he's okay with it. He's not regretting it. But of course, a lot of people lost a lot of money. Everybody right now, knowing that it's still in the trillions, the circulating supply, we're still down about 17, 20% down. And what is the current state of the boat? As I said at the very beginning, it does seem that more than 131 boats with just 79% is going to happen. We're going to have a new Terra Luna and a Terra Classic. The node with Beto is increasing, which is good. It's great. I love to see that. Just remember that the validators are the ones who vote. And so far, it is what it is. Already the quorum and past threshold have already been met. So we just got 6 more days, everybody. In 6 more days, I hope the price of Terra Luna is going to do something. So far, sideways trading, and we're close to going to the last section of the Fibonacci retracement, which is going to be close to the 100% retracement and come back to zero land. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Well, there you guys have it. Pretty interesting news. Well, retail investors, I hope you get a resolution from Terra Luna. We'll see what happens. I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.